Crazy thing. This is Custer Park, Windsor, Connecticut. I don't even know if it's actually called Custer Park. We just call it that. It's on Custer Drive, but we call it Custer Park. This is the neighborhood I grew up in, so we call it Custer Park. Now look, the basketball court is empty. Empty. I mean, empty. No one's on the. How can, with all the kids in the neighborhood, how can nobody be on a swing? Right? So back in the 80s, late 70s, all the way until we graduated in 1985. So from like 77 or 7, I say from 78 to 1985, this park, every day, every night, all 4 seasons, spring, summer, winter, fall, and on the basketball court, because the lights are there. We would be on the basketball court, 12 midnight, 1 in the morning, playing basketball, right? We would play football. The end zone, there used to be a tree right in the middle there. There was a tree there, and then that big tree down there. And there used to be a pair of rib pads hanging from the way up high. We don't know how they got up there. We could never get up there to get them. But think about it. So for 4 seasons a year, 365 days a year almost, we were in this park every single day, especially summer. I mean, forget it. Every day playing football. And I mean, there was a lot of us. Me, Albert Graham, Calvin Smith, Chris Mason, Damian Brown, Kenny Levy, Brian Keeler, Wayne Thompson. Just everybody. I mean, there was so many guys. It was crazy. Chris Mason, Tony Mason, J.J. Shaw, Paul Coffey. And everybody was here. We would play football. Some of the greatest games I've ever been in was right here. We would play all the time. And now, here it is, 2022, summer day, one of the greatest days of the year. And there's not one person. There's no one. There's no one on a swing. No one on a slide. There's no one sitting on a bench. There's no one walking. There's no one playing basketball. How can that be? Where are the kids? I mean, I just drove around my old neighborhood. I just drove around this whole neighborhood. There's not one kid outside. There's no one. It's an abandoned ghost town. How is that possible? Look at this. I mean, no one is here. There's no one even outside. Look it up there. Watch. I don't see one person. Obviously this guy's pulling up in his car, but there's no one taking a walk. There's no one walking the dogs. There's no kids on bikes. How does that even happen? What changed? I don't know. Internet? I don't know. But in 1983, say, whether it was a blizzard or a heat wave, if you wanted to find me, other than boxing, if you wanted to find me, I was here. This is where I was. We were playing. Albert Graham was the quarterback. I was the wide receiver. We used to brutalize Chris Mason and J.J. Shaw and Calvin Smith horribly. Right, Albert? We used to kill these guys. It was no contest. Zero. No contest. And every time I come here, I always remember the big thing was right here, right in the middle of the field. There was a day, and it was either Greg Keeler or his brother, whatever his brother's name was, the big Keeler, and Ian Thompson. Ian lived up there, and crazy. They had some kind of beef, some kind of issue, and they said, okay, one of them was gonna receive the ball, and the other one was gonna be in charge of tackling him. And these 2 guys, one of them was down there, one of them was there. They threw the ball. The guy started running. The other one was running at him, and they were big kids. And I'm just saying to myself, everybody was here watching. We were all on the sidelines watching. And I'm like, all right. It was like watching two tractor trailers going top speed towards each other. And you're saying to yourself, one of them's going to move. Like at the last second, one of them is going to move. And the impact was so horrific. right there, right behind that swing set. Right, I mean, it was horrible. That was one of the worst things I've ever seen. And so I don't know, but I don't know. We don't do anything anymore. Kids, look at this. There's no kids. There's nobody outside. It's like everybody just decided to stay in the house. But, and let me give a shout out to June Archer. That's his house right behind those bushes right there. June Archer. If you Google room service, ain't nothing wrong. See that house right there? I'm colorblind. I think it's yellow. If you Google room service, ain't nothing wrong. Really good song they had back out in 1997. Check it out. They were kind of like a new edition type of group. Really good. But this was also, I always say, that tree was the end zone. This was the end zone, the lineup. And I remember Calvin Smith. I really wanted to tackle him, and I guess you could say it was a late hit. It was a late hit, and he was crying. I blasted him from behind, and the problem was literally, like, while he's there crying, his father drove up and showed up. So that was bad timing on their part. Horrible. Damon Brown used to live there. Paul Coffey lived down there, and Boyd Kane. Everybody lived over here. J.J. Shaw moved away. I never saw him again back in the early 80s, but yeah, so I don't get it. This is the park, and there's no one in it. How can no one be in a town park? How does that happen? Something's wrong. Something is wrong.